Welcome to another episode, everyone. And this is my response, if you will, to Trigger Bird from Hoover. Now, bear in mind that Trigger Bird is indeed my little bro. We have absolutely no problems and no beefs whatsoever. He has my phone number. I have his phone number. In fact, we FaceTimed just recently, a week or so ago for a little while. And Trigger Bird did a video, as we all know. I covered the video, just yesterday, in which in his title, he said, Trigger Bird crashes out on all LA YouTubers. And he went on in the video, as I covered yesterday. Many of you know what I am referring to. And, he attacked, if you will, LA YouTubers for their coverage of the baby shooter situation there in the Los Angeles County Jail. And Trigger Bird, he had a lot to say about it, said that the dudes in LA are goofies, essentially, making LA look very bad. Everyone needs a DP, a discipline, for the way that they've been covering on it, covering the situation that they're giving the police ideas to press charges on individuals, etc. Of course, a lot of what Trigger Bird had to say was dead on, was spot on, and he is absolutely correct. I said as much when I covered the video. And I did feel like, if I'm being honest, that he was referring to me in the video as well. And because he did not disinclude me. He did not say in the video, I'm talking about everyone except the big fella. And I wouldn't expect him to say that, because individuals would then say that he's picking and choosing. How you gonna make a video attacking or crashing out on all LA YouTubers, but then disinclude your homie? He's the only one that you don't include in it. He put, he ran content on the situation as well. So I would not expect him to do that, or to disinclude Hoover Gumby and to say, I'm talking about everybody except Hoover Gumby and Chinaman. No, I would not ask him to do that. I would not expect something like that, particularly if that's not how he felt. If he feels like I'm in that group as well, and clearly that's how he felt. Again, he has my phone number, and if he had a problem with any of my content, I take it he would have called me or could have called me and said, hey, big bro, be careful of some of your coverage of this situation, or how you speaking on this situation, or whatever. I'm about to attack the individuals that's covering this, or what have you. But no, instead, he took it to his channel. He went to the internet. And so I have to respond on the internet. I can just call him as well, like he could have called me. That's all true. But I'm not going to do that, because he said what he said, and people consumed that content. So I have to come on here then for the people who consumed it and make me feel a certain way, and thus defend myself, if you will. Now, I don't necessarily have to defend myself. I didn't do anything wrong. And I'm not taking his video personal. I promise you I'm not. Again, this is my little brother, bro. Big T Bird is an individual who I love, like, with my heart. For real. Like, I love him. Long story short, based on that alone, I would never go at my young homie. Nevertheless, the thing that really got me was when Trigger Bird said, well, Gumby was doing a live. Hoover Gumby was doing a live last night, the night before last, something like that. Or it had to have been the night before last. And he was addressing this issue with baby shooter and Hefe, etc. In fact, Hoover Gumby was responding to my video, or reacting to a video that I had done right there during his live. So, but he's addressing the issue. And in fact, Hoover Gumby had said, this is with the back and forth with him and Aunt Hefe ended up being about, or how it started or whatever, if you will, because Hoover Gumby had done a video like many other LA podcasters and essentially addressed the issue. He said that Aunt Hefe, you're not Channel 7 News. And he was saying, man, on gang shit, it's supposed to go up. You can't touch one of ours. It's gonna go up, etc. Right? Everyone, and that's understandable that Gumby would do a video like that. For one, it's a hot topic. Not that he's clout chasing. It's a hot topic, and this is his genre. This is his sort of content anyway. And so, yeah, he's going to offer. He's been in the county jail. He's going to offer. He's going to express his opinion about what just transpired. But during this live, Triggerbird sent a comment. I happen to be checking out pieces of the live. Triggerbird sent a comment and said, they are all talking too much. They are all talking too much. He sent a comment to Hoover Gumby during the live as Gumby is talking about the situation with Baby Shooter and Hefe, etc. As Gumby in real time is talking about it, he sends a message talking about everyone else is talking too much. He doesn't say to Gumby, you shouldn't be talking about that. Or you shouldn't be talking about that on the internet, bro. Everybody talking about it too much. No. He just says, everybody else. So I said, this dude's picking and choosing. As someone is actually talking about the situation, you criticizing everyone else for talking about it to the person that's actually talking about it. This is when I decided, well, no, let me respond to this because I don't want to pick and choose. Because had it been anyone other than T-Bird or Gumby, let's say, one of the homies that made that video where he himself said he's crashing out, that's what his title says, he's crashing out on all LA YouTubers, then I will respond to that, particularly if I thought that this individual was including me in this and talking about me. And I do feel that way. So if I don't respond now, then it will only be because I'm picking and choosing. It will only be because that's the little homie, that's the little bro. That's the only reason I wouldn't respond. That's the only reason I had not responded until now, and I wasn't going to respond. I thought about it. I kept going back and forth in my head when I was working out this morning. When I got in the shower this morning, I was saying, nah, just get into some other content. Let it go, bro. Let it go. Let it go. Maybe just call a homie or whatever. Just let it go. But damn, here I am. I didn't take my own advice. The story of my life. And so, that's why I'm responding for the record. I said all that to say why I'm even addressing the issue is because, for one, I felt like I was included because he was saying in his video, y'all on there talking about the rules, and I know I talk about the rules and all of this all of the time. And so, but anyway, let me address a couple of things. And let me say this. This is not to come at the young homie T-Bird. I got love for him. There'll never be any beef, especially on the internet. There's going to be no back and forth. There's no any of that stuff. Absolutely not. We'll talk on the phone later, all of that. He ran his content. I'm running mine now. Basically, that's what this is, bro. This is my little bro, just so we're clear on that. And a lot of people agree with him in the comments, by the way. Rightfully so. And say, oh man, I found my guy. I found my new guy. T-Bird keeping it real. One dude like said, I'm from New York, but I like the way he's spitting, and this and that. So hopefully y'all went over there and subscribed to his channel. And y'all will be checking out his content. Also go and subscribe to Hoover Gumby's channel. It's called Checking Ain't Cheating. Hopefully soon all of us will get together and do some content together. for the community, help bring the community together would be my objective to podcast together in some capacity. And also subscribe to this channel here, The Inside Story, with me, Damion Porter. And we just reached 60,000 subscribers last night or something. I normally don't keep up with that too much. I do, though. I want to get to 100. But, so that's an accomplishment, though. I will acknowledge that. Thank you all for those who acknowledged it in the comments. And I will respond to y'all when I'm done with some of these videos today. Thank you all for getting me to 60,000 subscribers and for supporting me. I appreciate it. I know I'm not always perfect with my content. Sometimes I'm here, I'm over there, I'm everywhere. Sometimes. But let me just say this, that the content that I ran on the baby shooter situation is not out of my element. This is why I don't feel like I did anything wrong. And if I felt like I did something wrong, I would come on here and I would say it. Man, I was wrong for that. I've done it before, and that's just who I am and how I am. I don't skirt accountability ever. I've never done that all of my life. I'm gonna stand on it, whatever it is, and if I'm wrong, I'm freaking wrong. I am an imperfect human being. I am an imperfect man, and I'm going to be wrong at times. Particularly running content, getting information from over here. The information can be wrong. I could say too much during the content, get carried away, passionate, whatever. I'm not perfect. And so I have to come on here, maybe take the video down, apologize, whatever the situation is, I'll do that. But in this situation, no, sir, I don't feel like I was wrong. You may feel like I was, you being whomever, but I do not. When I covered the situation, now, I just did a video on the LA County Jail. Hell, the day before. I've been doing this before some of these individuals had YouTube channels. I was talking about the LA County Jail in prison. This has been the foundation of my channel from day one. So I talk about, as we all know, the county jail and riots in the county jail and stabbings and beatings and what have you, every other day or so. So for me to talk about what was going on in the county jail as it related to gang politics and all of that at that time was not out of the norm, was not out of my element. The individuals who normally talk about how to fry a cheeseburger and talk about lowriders and this and that, and now they're talking about the issue. You can accuse them of clout chasing. This is not their genre. This is not their typical content. And then all of a sudden they're getting on it. You can accuse them of that, but not me, because this is my content nearly every day. For one. For two, of course, Triggerbird was also giving his opinion throughout that video on what should have happened. He did a live last night. And if he was anyone but the homie, I would be showing y'all clips of that live and making my point. But this is a very mild response because I just want to clear a couple things up. This is no attack whatsoever. This is not to go tick for tack and back and forth and who's right and who's wrong. I've already conceded that Triggerbird was absolutely right, absolutely correct in a lot of his observations and criticism, well deserved from LA podcasters. And I myself am not above criticism, and sometimes I'm sure needed with where I venture off into my content. Hell, my sister certainly just criticized me last night and told me, you need to stop with this gang content, period. This shit needs to stop now. I'm not going to say she criticized me, but she said that. And not the first time she said it, but pretty stern last night to the point I had to respond. Like, hold on, man. At any rate. So, I am certainly not above critique or criticism, and I'm not going to be responding or whatever every time someone critiques me or criticizes my content, particularly if it has it coming, because I am not perfect. That's just that. But at any rate, in Trigger Bird's video, he said, what should happen, y'all want to know what should happen? What should happen, what's supposed to happen is Baby Shooter supposed to get DP for lying, and the dudes from 40s is supposed to get DP for clout chasing, for getting on the phone and putting all that stuff out there on the phone. Well, this is what you call an opinion. That's him offering his opinion about the situation, about what should have happened in that jail as it relates to the Baby Shooter situation. Baby Shooter should be DP, should beat his ass, and the other dudes should be DP. That's really no different than other individuals getting on here saying that the gangster should have responded or this should. That's, our opinion on that situation in there and what should happen. We're all giving our opinion. And that's all that I was doing. Now, I was asked, because everyone knows that this is my sort of lane, this is my sort of content. I was even asking at Walmart, but what's supposed to happen with the Baby Shooter situation? Most individuals know just instinctually that there was supposed to be a response, or he was supposed to defend himself or whatever. Just as a man, you don't have to be a part of the gang culture. You don't have to understand prison or county jail politics to know that there was supposed to be some sort of response. Naturally, you understand this. But there are some, maybe just a few, who may not necessarily know anything about the politics or what is supposed to happen in that situation. And they posed a question to me, and I was just responding to my viewers and answering that question, because this is my content anyway, on a regular daily basis. No cloud chasing here. No speaking on something I shouldn't have spoken on. This is what I speak on every day on this channel for 2.5 years now, off and on. Been more on now than off, but off and on for 2.5 years. And when I said it, someone jumped on because I covered Trigger Bird's video, as we know yesterday. I didn't have anything to hide. And I could have not covered the video. He talking about me too, and just shrunk from it and hid from the topic and let him get whatever views he's going to get on it, and hope maybe it's not too many, so no one can see this and duck from it. I played it. I'm not hiding from anything. I didn't do anything wrong, as far as I'm concerned. And some people, or someone jumped in the comments and said, well, yeah, I rock with your channel, big fella, but it was like you did keep saying you had to get to the bottom of what happened. You're going to find out what happened. That was like some police stuff, he said. Well, let me explain something real quick. The thing is, I was referring to, and I'm still standing on that. He is correct, and the commenter, I did mention that more than once in my videos that I covered on Baby Shooter. I did not do 20 videos. I did do a couple on the situation once they put it on the internet. They put it on the internet for people to cover it. Let me stay focused real quick. So he says in the comments, that was like some police stuff. Now, when I was saying that I'm gonna get to the bottom of this, because my viewers want to know, we want to know the truth, gonna get to the bottom of it. We need answers. I want answers, and this and that. I was referring to, and I said what I was referring to at that time. Whether or not Baby Shooter had went into the cell and tried to take the 2 fades, or whether he went in the cell and turned down the 2 fades. I said, I'm going to get to the bottom of that. We're going to get to the bottom of that, because that's everything. For those who don't understand the politics of it all, that's the big question. That's everything. The answer to that question is everything. It determines if some people live or die. And I said that at that time, that's what I was trying to get to the bottom of. Not whether or not he got stabbed, who did the stabbing and all that. I don't give a damn. They put that on the internet, though. They put that on the internet. If you're going to criticize anyone, it has to be the people who put it on the internet. For one, they put it on the internet. They mentioned Detroit. They mentioned these individuals' names. They said their own name. Baby Shooter was on the internet crying and hollering on the phone, please don't kill me and all that. They put that shit on the internet. Baby Shooter, as we all know, put on the internet, called in to Whack 100 and said that he was stabbed, arm broken, ribs fractured. He put that on the internet. And so I said then that have to get down to the bottom of whether or not he turned down these two fades or not. Because if I said then, and I'm saying again now, that had what Baby Shooter been saying been the truth, that he did nothing wrong, is what I said. That if he went inside of that cell and they told him he had to take two fades, and he said okay, and he stood up to take his two fades, and he swung on one dude. This is what he said during that phone call with Whack 100. He swung on a dude and hit the dude, and once he did that, they all rushed him and did everything that they did to him, that he had claimed that they had done to him when they all rushed him. I said, if that version of the story is true, then it's about to be hell to pay. These dudes are out of pocket. He did nothing wrong. But if he went at Hefe's version, is he went inside of the cell, the information that he has received, he's vetted it, he's done his investigation, he's right there in the same module, and he said, based on his investigation, obviously the people he talked to that was involved, whatever, however he found out, that Baby Shooter went in there and turned down the two fades. That he did not want to fight. He refused to fight. This is a very, very different story. And it has very different implications than what Baby Shooter's story is. So I simply said, want to get down to the bottom of which one of these stories is true. You're misleading us. Somebody is lying to us. If you're going to put it out there on the internet, put the truth out there. That's all I said. And I'm standing on that. Because that's everything. Who's telling the truth is everything in this situation. Because again, if Baby Shooter's version of the story is accurate, is absolutely correct, then he did nothing wrong, and there's all kind of people out of pocket right now. Everybody out of pocket. The gangsters, the neighborhoods, everybody out of pocket. If what he's saying is true. But if what Aunt Hefe is saying is true, then that's a totally different story. So want to get down to the bottom, want to find out, since you put it on the internet, and I've been covering this shit, I don't want to cover a lie, who's telling the truth? I'm not bagging down from that. I stand on that still. These dudes did what they did and then put it on a phone. And then LA content creators pick it up. Well, yeah, they're going to pick this up. They talk about all kind of stuff on No Jumper and whatever. Already, all sorts of stuff have been exposed on all kind of channels as it relates to, they've been saying LA is looking like clowns and LA looking like goofies and this, that, and the other, LA on the internet. I just really believe that LA, there are no really people from the other places that have channels like that, members and all that. They're talking about gang content where people are going to care or be interested from their state. That's why there's a lot of LA gang member content creators on the internet, because people are more interested in what's going on in LA. Just like LA started all of this gang banging stuff and everyone else caught on later everywhere else. The fact that all these LA dudes are on the internet, everyone that catch on later and follow the same script. It's not because they some super real dudes and the dudes in LA are not. The dudes in LA are soft. Yes, too much is being exposed on the internet, but this is what's going to happen on the internet. Yes, individuals need to tighten up. Namely, the individuals who got on the freaking phone and put it on the internet. Baby Shooter got on the phone and told Whack 100, yeah, post it on Instagram, post it everywhere. They want this shit on the internet. No, you can't get mad at the people that's covering it. They wanted it all out there to be covered. Yeah, now, yes, no, that does not mean that we have to cover it. Does not mean that you just get on the internet, do anything because it's out there. You still have to be accountable and responsible for your content. Absolutely. I get it. I'm just saying, though, LA content creators that's speaking on it, well, it's because it happened in LA, in an LA County jail. The dude who it happened to is from LA, an LA gang. The dudes that did it to him are from LA, an LA gang. So yeah, the LA content creator who from Detroit or Chicago gonna speak about it. They don't know what the hell going on. So yeah, the LA dudes picked it up and started speaking on it. It happened. It's an LA incident. It happened. The only way or the only reason that Detroit even got brought into it is because of them dudes on the phone. Other than that, it had nothing to do with anyone else. It has everything to do with LA and LA politics and LA gangs and all this stuff. So the people who run that kind of content in LA, yeah, they're going to pick that up. They're not going to say, well, I'm not going to do that because of this, that, and the other. And no, I don't believe that the police are, I certainly said nothing about, oh, this person might be indicted for this and this person. That wasn't any of my content. I'm saying that because Trigger Bird had referenced that in his video saying, you know, like some of y'all giving the police ideas. Or they might have even been thinking about picking up a case or indicting this person. And now y'all making videos on it. And they might be, I ain't saying a damn thing about no damn indictment. And I don't believe, anyway, that the police would be sitting back watching podcasts, YouTubers, and deciding that they're going to file charges based on a YouTuber's video. This is not to say that the police are not watching content and that they cannot be influenced by some of the content that they consume. Nevertheless, if someone is covering this situation in there, if they're going to pick up charges or whatever, it's going to be based on the phone calls that were made from inside of the jailhouse, not anything that a content creator on the street who was not in the county jail and was there when this situation happened and is just speculating or whatever in a video with content, not anything he has to say, but instead on a recorded call saying they beat me, stabbed me, broke my arm, fractured my rib, 10 of them packed me out. Now that might get some charges on somebody. The victim, the alleged victim, who's in jail on a recorded call, said that the individuals in the cell stabbed him, beat him, and broke his arm and fractured his rib. Yeah, that might get a charge on someone. Or the individuals in the cell recording themselves doing whatever they're doing to this individual and yelling out their name and their gang as the individual's back there yelling for his life, please don't kill me, y'all about to kill me. Yeah, that might get some charges. The police listening to that phone call that continuously says this call is being recorded Yeah, that might do it. Not a damn thing I said though, but that might do it. What they're saying about themselves on the recorded call, they called and brought this shit to the street. I'm out here minding my own damn business. They called and put it on the internet, and I'm on the internet. I'm a content creator. And this is, again, my genre. I talk about the county jail every damn day. So if someone is to be criticized, it would probably be the individuals who called in and put this shit on the internet. Now, again, that does not mean that the individuals who are speaking on the internet do not bear some accountability. But at the same time, these individuals are just content creators and going to run their content. I saw some more videos on it last night. Individuals calling Ed Hefe out saying he dropped the ball. But they're going to run their content, bro. Ain't nothing to give a damn what nobody say. Someone said, all these reaction channels making LA look bad. Stop watching it. Go watch Oprah. Stop watching it. If you got a freaking problem with it. Because people running their content. Yeah. Some things should not be talked about, have to be careful. But the information is going to be put out there. The content creation is going to go through a metamorphosis at some point. It's going to evolve. It's going to get to a point where you're going to have to come with real content, all of us. All of this type of stuff is going to be washed out soon, and we're going to see you won't be left standing. You're going to have to use your mind, challenge your brain to come up with some real content, all of us. Be creative. Be authentic, all of us. Or you're going to fall by the wayside, all of us. So we're going to see who really got has some substance, something to offer the people in the community, and who does not. There are many people in the comments often saying the gas prices are high, loaf of bread is high. There are wars going on. And all you individuals want to do is talk about Crip Mac and 4 Extra, this gang stuff and all that, man. Come on, man. We can do better than this, man. Talk about some stuff that's going to help the people, this and that. Go to the description right here on my channel, and in the description, there's a link to a channel called Reactionary Politics. That's my channel. Reactionary Politics. Over there, we're not talking about 4 Extra and Crip Mac. We're not talking about gangs. We're not talking about prison. We're talking about the things that affect your life every day. The laws that are being made that affect your everyday life every day. You want to know why the prices are so high, why the gas prices are so high, why a loaf of bread is so high? You want to know why you don't have affordable housing and can't feed your family? Go to Reactionary Politics or shut up. Get out of my comments talking about all y'all talk about is gang stuff and prison stuff. Talk about something else. As if you just want some educational content. You're just above this content. You want some education. Well, go over there and subscribe to the channel and check out the content. I'm about to start another channel within 2 weeks. Because y'all don't want to hear it over here on this channel. Every time I talk about something else, other than this nonsense, it gets no views. You talk a good one. I did the story on the Black Panthers versus the U.S., the black organization headed by Karinga. Most individuals didn't know what I was talking about. The war that they had. But did they get a lot of views? No. This was important information for the community. Some people latched on to it. As soon as I talk about Crip Mac, it's going to be a different story. So you say that you want some substantive content informative that can help you with your life. But when I try to bring it, it's crickets. I have the ability to do that. I'm about to do it on these other channels. I'm not going to abandon this channel. I'm not going anywhere. This is my baby. I'm going to be here every day. I'm going to be on these other channels as well, talking about some stuff that affect our lives every day. I have to get involved in what's going on in the community and around the world. And it's much bigger than what's going on in the hood. I have to get to this stuff. It's bothering me too much what they're trying to do to my people right now. And I'm not speaking about it. I'm too busy speaking about this bull. No. And as far as the controversy and the beefs that go on the internet in this genre, understand this. It is not exclusive to black people. It is not exclusive to gang content and prison content. As someone said in the comments yesterday, there are people that have comic book channels, and they're beefing. The people who are, go check out Penguin Zero. He has like 18 million subscribers. And how many people he calls out, the YouTubers he calls out. Internet Anarchist, CoffeeZilla. SS Sniper Wolf is the biggest YouTuber in the world, nearly, right behind Mr. Beast. She has, at last, I looked at her channel, that was at least a couple of months ago, she had 35 million subscribers. So now it's probably 36 million, 37 million. The biggest female YouTuber in the world, but probably the biggest, she's, again, right behind Mr. Beast, basically. Well, she's far behind him. He got 300 million subscribers or something, but she got 35, 36 million subscribers. And she had so many people coming after her, you wouldn't believe it. When I started checking out a little bit of her content, all she does is reaction videos to TikTok videos. She just does nothing but reactions and got 35, 36 million subscribers. But there are some, you like punch in her name, just punch her in, SS Sniper Wolf. Verse and put verses, and it's going to come up versus a million people because everybody making content on, because everybody want her spot. That's just the way it is. These are white YouTubers that are getting into it with each other all of the time, trying to bring each other's channel down. They're trying to take each other's position. It's just competition. They find a reason to go at each other. This is just the way it is. So it's not exclusive to you gang bangers always making us look bad on the internet. Y'all always beefing with each other. So this is not to excuse some of the stuff that's been happening on the internet with our people. And we do need to clean up a lot of stuff. LA needs to clean up a lot of stuff, like Trigger Bird said, and I need to clean up a lot of stuff as well. I have to be mindful of the content that I am creating. I am mindful of it. I do try to be careful. I never put T Grizzly in my title, 4.0 in my title. I was trying to be careful. I wasn't even saying their name at first. But I'm not perfect. I can do better as well. But the notion that this is exclusive, because you hear people in the comments sometimes saying this on my channel or whoever else's channel, man, blacks are always beefing with each other. Blacks can't never get along. This genre always going at each other. Y'all making each other look stupid. Y'all making us look stupid. Y'all making LA look stupid. This and that. Understand that these beefs are going on. That's only because you only watch this genre for the most part or whatever. So you don't know that this is going on way up there too. These people have millions of subscribers, white folks, going at each other's necks every day on YouTube. I remember watching one situation. It was a documentary on this dude who was a vegan. And he was going at this other YouTuber who was not a vegan, who ate meat. And this dude who was the vegan had like a cult-like following. He had a cult-like following on YouTube. These people were ready to kill for him. For real, this shit had got crazy. It was like a movie. They were ready to kill for him. They thought the people who ate meat was just monsters, the worst people in the world, killers, animal killers. People who wear fur and all that. They wanted to kill some of these people, and it got so bad, you had to check this stuff out. It was crazy. it was him and his coach against this other channel, or many other channels, and their viewers and subscribers. And it was in the street, and all, it was up. It was crazy. White folks, everybody. So it's just, people are beefing on YouTube and other platforms and all that. That's just being on the internet and this metaverse. Things going out. Someone's going to disagree. It goes from there. This is everyone and everybody. You just may not know it because you're not watching these other channels like that. No, not every channel is beefing, but the notion that it is just exclusively to blacks or certain kinds of blacks who are on here beefing and making us look bad, you better go do an investigation, check out some of these huge channels who are making millions monthly, who are going at each other, striking each other channel, trying to get channels taken down, beefing with one another, you name it. Over any and everything. In the same way that everyone hates, the Kansas City Chiefs and want their number one spot. Whoever's up there, people are going to find a way to try to criticize you and bring you down or what have you. This is even the ones who have millions. They want more millions. They want his millions. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing everywhere. That's it. I don't want to keep going on and on. I just wanted to, again, shout out to the homie Trigger Bird. Y'all go over there and check his channel out. There's no beef here whatsoever. I just wanted to clear up a couple of things, that my content based on the baby shooter situation was on whether or not there should be a response about what happened. That was, you go back and look at my content, it says left for dead, this, that, and other. That's what I was talking about. Not who should get a case, and I never mentioned anything about an indictment or any of that. And if the police are going to get that idea, it's not going to be, I don't believe, from any podcaster, myself or anyone else. It's going to be based on the freaking phone calls that these dudes made themselves. Whack 100 did an Instagram post and had said that they had came and got baby shooter based on that phone call. And, were questioning him. But they said that he stayed, or Wack said that he stayed strong and didn't say anything. But they were asking him, like, what happened? We heard the phone call and this and that. They didn't say we heard Damion Porter's YouTube channel. They said we heard the phone call that you made from inside of our jail. We right here in jail with you, listen to your call. We are telling you that we're listening to your call. It says this call is being recorded. And while listening to these phone calls, this is what we heard, and press play. No, you ain't press play on my YouTube channel. Press play on a phone call that these fools made themselves. Because they wanted it on the internet. They wanted clout. Now again, that's not to absolve anyone else from picking it up and giving them that clout. But let's not lose focus either on who really the fault lies with. If there's fault to be given, if there's criticism to be dished out, it's to the people who put this shit out here to begin with. We wouldn't know nothing about it. Yeah, some stuff that happened in jail and it has nothing to do with individuals on the street. Hell no. I'm not about to catch a case and go to county jail and do a damn thing about it. No, you're right. It ain't got nothing to do with individuals on the street. I agree. Because it happened in jail. That's why they should have kept it in jail and not put it on the street. If you don't want anybody on the street to have anything to do with it, then leave it right there in the jailhouse. We'd have never known about it. But you have multiple individuals who's involved in the situation who wanted it to get out to the street. Baby shooter, he called Whack 100, made a phone call about it and told him, put it out there on your Instagram and all of that. The the perpetrators, the alleged perpetrators, they got on the phone, yelled their name, their hood. They wanted it to be known. They put it on the internet. The fuck? Yeah, no. If it's anyone's fault, it's the individuals who did that. And then to expect them to put it out there on the internet and everyone who runs this kind of content, yeah, this is salacious. Indeed. This dude in here hooping and hollering for his freaking life with all these tattoos on his face. Yeah, that's who making LA look bad. That's what made LA look bad. Not no fucking podcaster. Motherfucking there hooping and fucking hollering for his fucking life. Like a little biatch. I don't know, as far as some dudes gonna hit the county jail, and y'all ain't gonna do nothing. Yeah, maybe they ain't. I don't know about them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Proof is in the pudding with me, though. I'm gonna get down for my grits every time, everywhere, every time, everywhere. I don't give a damn what the odds are. Me hooping and hollering like, yeah, I didn't hurt it. Man, you ain't gonna know what you're gonna do when there's 10 dudes on you. You know, they all on you like that, stabbing you and beating you. What is he supposed to do? Not that. Not that. Not hooping and hollering. I tell you that. That's out. It ain't gonna stop nothing. It ain't gonna change nothing. If they on them like that, they ain't about to bag them up. You better be swinging with all that. You wasting too much energy with all that hollering. You either use that to ball up, if that's what you're going to do, or try to defend yourself. But ain't no hooping and hollering like that. That ain't no man shit. Now, that's out. I don't give a damn how many people on you. I don't care what the odds are. I don't care how much they in there stabbing you and killing you. And now we know that none of that even happened. Man, knock it off. No. You're going to criticize somebody, criticize these suckers that's on the phone talking about it and lying. And the dudes who ain't doing nothing about it. That's where the criticism lies. The dudes who brought the stuff to the street. Now, yeah, LA, tighten up. We got to be careful. We got to be careful with our content. Not because we have something to prove to some dudes out of state. If they think LA is sweet and soft because of a couple of dudes on the internet, then bring your ass out here with that nonsense and find out. If you're going to put everyone in one basket based on a couple of individuals who you think are sketchy on the internet, then that's your bad. You're going to find out the hard way, not to judge everyone based on one or two individuals. In life, you should never do that. LA is not soft. It is not sweet. Yeah, you got some real killers in the background. Understand that. That you don't know, that you've never known, that you don't see, you don't know their name, you'll never know their name, you'll never see them until your time is up. You can think otherwise if you want to. Be my guest. That's it. Get to some other freaking content. Again, shout out to the homie. Nothing against him. I just wanted to clear up a couple of things. As it related to that, I felt like my name was in that somewhere, somehow. It was. I'd be a hypocrite not to address it, because if it was someone else, I would address it. So, I'm going to address it regardless of who it is. If it's my real little brother, I'm going to address it. Be my damn daddy. Rest in peace. I would address it. Shit. Doesn't matter who it is. If you addressing me, it didn't matter to you that it was me. That didn't stop you from addressing it. So, I mean, whatever. But as I said, it's all good. I just want to clear that up, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna be careful with my, like I'm just about to get into some other, like my sister said, this shit. It's too much drama. I lived it already. I did it. I stayed strong. I did what I had to do. But as I said, I'm not going to abandon this channel because it's not just entertainment and mindless content. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's just inane and stupid and just to get a laugh, and it's just content with some of this gang stuff and prison stuff, even whatever. But I know that also I'm trying to give information here as well. And I'm trying to get people out of the street and keep them off of the street as well. Yeah, it may just be with talking right now, but I'm willing to do other physical work as well. For my people, the rest of my life belongs to my people. So I'm willing to do whatever is necessary. But it's not just entertainment. I'm also trying to send a message when every chance that I get, try to reach someone. And so we all can do better with our content. Just have more meaningful content anyway, as it relates to our people, because we are in dire straits right now. And we need help, and we need to help ourselves. But we first need to understand what's going on and what the problem is. I'm going to help to identify that when I start this other channel. First, identify the problem and then come with some solutions on how we can deal with these problems. I'm not just going to present the problem, but I'm working towards solutions and resolutions to offer that as well, a way out of the problem. Present the problem, let you know what the problem is, why this problem is there, trace it back to why this problem exists in our community, and how we can resolve it, how we can solve this problem, which is most important. But we also need to know why the problem is there in order for it not to repeat itself. We have to understand why it's there, why the cancer's there, in order to really rid ourselves of it and keep it from coming back. That's it, man, because I'm going to go on and on and on if I keep going. Let me get to some other stuff. As I said, I wasn't even sure if I was going to do this video. I didn't even really want to do it. But I did just want to clear a couple things up. That's it, man. Stay safe and stay free, people.